Sorry. Shwmai, and welcome to Two Welsh Dads, the podcast where two proud Welsh fathers talk life, parenting, and everything in between. I'm Stefan Davis, and I'm joined by my fellow dad and friend, Glyn. And this will be our 4th episode, so grab yourself a cuppa and join us as we share who we are, why we're doing this, and what you can expect from the journey ahead. Shwmai, Glyn.
Shwmai, how's it going? You just come back off holiday, Bobs?
I did, yeah. It was wonderful, yeah. Yeah, I kind of felt very disconnected, weirdly. There was very little internet, which is kind of nice, but at the same time, I almost felt a bit isolated in a way.
Interesting. Especially, wasn't it last episode we were talking about screen time and how you're going to review your screen time?
Yeah, I know, I'm messing that up already. I think, starting off strong with a holiday and nothing, you need to ease into it,
cold turkey.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, do you have your phone there?
I did. There's like very, very sparse internet.
No, I wondered we could actually have a look at your screen time.
Do
you know how to do that?
Yeah, there's probably loads.
Have you ever looked? Have you ever looked?
I'll have a look. Screen time. How do I do that? Settings?
Settings. Just search. No, that's the easiest way. Screen time. Because I looked after our last one, and I was also shocked.
Oh man, it's gonna be loads.
Yeah, it is going to be loads, and
okay.
It seems to be under like digital wellbeing. Smashing it today.
What do
I do? So feeling work
today.
Yeah,
about 4 hours. That's today.
What's your daily average?
It's not giving me an average.
Is it?
Set time goals. It's only giving me today's thing.
If you go on
weekly report,
click on it. Normally gives you weekly report.
Weekly. Can you see that?
Oh yeah. What's that? That's so you're averaging 3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not too bad actually.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I think that's all right.
It's okay.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like 8 or something ridiculous. I thought it was
more. I thought more.
Mine's 3 hours 15.
Do you use your screen as in phone for work?
I wouldn't have thought so. No, which is again where you just it amazes me how much screen time, even though I'm not really on social media I use, and that's still 3 hours of my life per day just goes to staring at a screen. And yeah, I don't know what I do. I'm trying to sell things. Bit of Facebook marketplace going on at the moment, so maybe that's what it is.
So plug you in while I'm here. Carry on.
It gives you a breakdown. Yeah, okay. So Facebook marketplace probably is my biggest usage.
Well, you are using it for a good reason. You're trying to increase your financial wealth, which in turn is a good thing.
Leveling it up.
You know it. Level it.
So before we begin, as we always start every episode, mindful moment for all those dads that are coming in, or anyone listening.
Coming
in, a bit hectic, screaming kids, etc., coming home from work. Just a moment to ground us.
You know what? I need this today more than anything, because tomorrow is the day. Weirdly, I go back on a Friday of all days. So I'm going back to work tomorrow, and I'm feeling somewhat anxious about it. Coming back to emails. I've just noticed you got a microphone there as well. Looking good. Leveling up. Love it.
Leveling up.
I should get a microphone. Okay. So today's mindful moment is we're going to be visualizing ourselves somewhere far away, somewhere warm, and somewhere cozy, and somewhere comfortable. So I'm going to need everyone to close their eyes just for 2 minutes. Take a deep breath and picture yourself on a beach, all alone on a deck chair, and you've just ordered yourself a nice cocktail from the bar. You've taken the cocktail down to the beach onto your chair, and you're all alone. It's a nice cold margarita. You take a sip and you take a deep breath, and all your worries and fears and anxiety
Mm.
go out the window. Nothing to worry about, nothing to fear, and you're just living in the moment and enjoying it for what it is. Take another deep breath. Visualize the warm sand on your feet, the crashing of the waves, and breathe.
Mm.
One more deep breath. And now open your eyes. Did that help?
It was nice. Yeah, definitely. Definitely pictured myself on a beach. It wasn't exactly. It started off kind of a wind-stricken, um, British beach in kind of
Yeah,
like autumn winter. I don't know why that's where my mind went, and then he brought me back to summer vibes. Probably the weather changing and
it is. It's probably not having the best effect on everyone, but
no,
yeah, nice summer beach. Oh gosh, love it.
is that where
Mm.
you beaching it up?
Little, not so much beach,
Mm.
swimming pool,
Mm.
busy swimming pool.
Nice.
Mm.
And the other big milestone, other than um, sorry to hear about the work anxieties for tomorrow, but kids go back next week.
Kids do, they do.
How do you
Is it
feel
next
about
week?
that? Yeah, next week.
Uh, good,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, mind you, I've missed spending time with them.
I know, bittersweet, isn't it?
It is, it is very, very. But yeah, I think routine is pretty good. Having
Mm.
having routine, staying in that routine, and I think that's where people grow mostly um, during these times of routine. Whew.
Again,
So again,
some of the biggest developments I've seen, and I'm thinking practical wise, but you know, like you've been on holiday and you've probably just been like going to the pool. Maybe there has been a bit of a routine there, but I'm always amazed at how confident my kids get in like a little holiday when it comes to confidence. Swimming,
hmm,
like going to the shop, that sort of stuff. I'm trying to think what else, maybe like taking part in entertain.
yeah, I
Yeah,
like it. Yeah, they do grow a bit of independence walking
yeah.
back. There was a point where my son walked back all alone from the swimming pool all the way back to the sort of the little villa place we stayed.
Oh yeah.
And he basically opened up one of the windows and jumped in. The door was locked, and he just made himself at home. So yeah, it was quite a safe little environment. So we
Did you
felt
know this
somewhat
was
comfortable.
happening?
Uh,
Did you know this was happening?
yeah, well, we were behind him, but
Oh,
he
okay,
sort of
cool.
ran up ahead.
Oh yeah.
Whew. But that was, slightly worrying. But
Mm.
at the same time, you can't wrap them in bubble wrap all their lives.
True that.
Gotta let them fly.
Gotta let them play at some point. Yeah, holidays are nice because you can kind of get to see that growth, that development
Yeah,
firsthand,
true.
and they do seem to like spring forward. Randomly today, um, Rosie managed to write her name for the first time,
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, but you know these things like you kind of expect routine and someone to teach them, and you have to drill it into them. But I was like, you haven't
Ooh.
been to school. I don't think we've been doing writing for a while. And then out of
So,
nowhere, we
yeah.
we were doing it over the summer in sand, like
Oh,
just
nice.
on the beach and stuff, like learning to write her letters. And out of nowhere, she could do it on a piece of paper today. And I was just like,
Wow.
"Whoa."
How?
Maybe she's done it in school. Maybe it's taken this long for her
Muscle
to
memory.
compute. But it was just like,
Wow.
I know,
That's good. Come to think
amazing.
of it, I kind of noticed it with my son and his coloring
Uh,
in the lines. He was doing some coloring in today. We were having a Weatherspoons food
yeah,
lunch,
yeah.
and he's doing it perfectly. He was really
Uh,
trying as well, concentrating. Whew. Yeah, and yeah, I think a break is good for them,
oh
but
yeah,
at the same time, they need to
they do.
That's well. I was going to say they need to get back to the routine, but yeah, sometimes a
For
break
them
is good
or you? Or your wife?
for everyone.
Are
Everyone.
they looking forward to school?
My son is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter, I think she's a bit more apprehensive.
Mm.
She's going from Meithrin
Yeah.
to Derbyn,
Oh.
so full days essentially. A bit more to it, but yeah, she seems a bit, I don't know, worried. Not worried, but apprehensive, I guess.
Yeah. It's a
Big step.
big step. Does that mean you two are free now?
Um, Not really.
No?
No, same. It's got to be the same. Same. Same.
No.
Yeah, same.
Same old, same
Yeah.
old. Fair enough. Just a big jump for her.
Yeah,
Got you.
young lady. Whew, it's so warm in here today.
Mm. Even though the weather's changed, it's still quite warm, isn't it? I think it's warmer than last week when it was
Weird, right?
really hot in the day. Although you were in France, so you wouldn't know.
True.
It's probably very hot.
It was pretty hot. Too
Yeah,
hot. Too hot.
too hot. Too hot
So what's
to
been new? What's been new for you? Anything update from Glyn?
um no. Just noticed my name's wrong. I'll change that as always. Yeah.
Wouldn't be a podcast, Two Welsh Dads podcast without the name being
That's it. Being
changed.
what's new with me? Not much. Like I said,
Oh,
there was draw writing a name, big milestone. Work is, yeah, not gonna big it up when you get back to it tomorrow. You're gonna have a few easing back into it and going, "Ah."
yeah. I think
Like,
the first hour is going to be terrible. I say terrible, but it'll be full of emails. And after you get past that first day, and it'll be fine.
true that.
Never usually quite as bad as you think as well.
Mm,
I think it's going to be terrible, but it's going to be fine.
yeah. Just trying to remind yourself of that. Um, Other than that, the only other thing that I've been thinking about today is at the end of the last episode, we ended with the idea of having a question, one of those aching, burning questions, not quite aching, burning questions, but one of those questions that you've always wanted to ask someone. And probably it's one of those questions um, that you probably know the answer to, but it's still
Yeah.
one of those things that can have real benefit of just talking about these things out loud. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you asked me about my mother and whether you did the right thing.
Hmm.
Remember?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've been struggling to think about a question that I have been burning to ask you.
Hmm.
Not burning, but it's been one of those things that, and I was like,
Um,
what shall I ask? And I've been thinking long and hard, and it's probably more of a I should ask most other couples because I think it's one of those that I think everyone goes through. I know, and I'm going to find out now with you anyway. So when you have children, your relationship changes, right?
yep.
So certainly true for me, but have you thought about there's no other way of saying it because I've definitely thought about it, and I think everyone has, and like separation, divorce, and so to speak,
Have
in those really low moments.
I thought
That's
about it?
the question, but the thing is, how did you get out of it? Because
Whew.
you're still married,
Yes,
so.
it's
But
a
I think
good question.
I know
Wow. Um, you probably do think about it, but it's
daily, hourly.
no, no. I would say, yeah, you probably, I think it's normal to think about it. But I wouldn't say it's something that it's all consuming. It's a fleeting moment of, hmm, damn this,
Does anything pop into mind when I say that?
nothing specific. No.
Has it been a
No.
while?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh, that's good.
How about you?
Trying to think of a specific one. I think again, I can't think of specifics, but there's definitely been times where you just think, how are we going to get through this sort of thing?
Really?
Yeah, yeah, and what's best for everyone. And not, it's not like divorce or separating, but there's moments of just going, wow,
Wow.
wow,
Wow.
what is going on here? Are
Really?
we right for each other? And I think
Ooh.
that like child bringing into it that there's an extra person to consider. So it changes
Mm,
the dynamic, but also, um, yeah, it's really tough time to find time to work through things. And that's why I
okay.
was interested in your kind of experience.
Um, yeah, I wouldn't say there's a specific time or moments that I thought, no, I don't know. It's weird. I wouldn't have, you mentioned children and how children has a, well, there's an extra two people to think about. So I feel like you've got to work through it for the children because they come first and they always will. So you need to work through it. There's no other option really.
How do you work? How did you work through it? Or how do you work through it? Because how do you find time?
Hmm. I guess through the little things that you do, you still obviously you still love them, and there's times when it's harder. But you just gotta show them that you care through small actions, and eventually it gets better. it's it's weird. I haven't actually thought about him, if I'm honest.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll tell you a bit of background on where this question comes from. Is that
Okay.
most of the stuff you see on the internet, as you well aware, I think is absolute rubbish. But there's always truths in everything, isn't there? You don't take it as an absolute, this is the way. But there's truths. And I was watching a video, and it was about someone saying that in a relationship, any relationship, not just marriage, but in a relationship, there's those questions and those things that you want to raise and those little niggles that are annoying, but you never really talk about it or say the things because there's not enough time, and then you just bury them, right? Because
Yeah.
you move on. And as you say, it just feels good then. But according to their perspective, those things are still there,
Yeah. Yeah.
whether we consciously know them or not, those little niggles, and they just build up, build up, build up, build up. And then you do get really, dark moments or really hard times. And
Mm.
they contribute then to those getting more serious because you haven't resolved the really small stuff. You haven't even covered the small stuff.
Yeah,
So,
true.
so do you ever talk?
Um, I don't know, not particularly. Nothing. No, I guess there's a lot of covering it up. Not covering it up, but almost ignoring it in a
Hmm.
way, um, until it gets better.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say talking. I wouldn't say we talk things through. No, we would. I would say,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's nothing. We wouldn't go into any great depth about things. Like I guess it would be somewhat skimming the surface as opposed to doing a deep dive
Hmm.
into these issues or problems. And I'm saying there's no issues or problems. Everything's fine. You know. So
Just in
yeah,
case you're listening. No, I'm joking.
just in case.
No, I think again, even whoever is listening, but I think they're feelings that everyone feels, isn't it? So how do you
Good. Yeah.
should you be delving into them deeper?
Should you? You probably should. Come to
How
think
do
of
you
it.
do it?
Whew, I don't know. I
Welcome
don't
back
know,
off
man.
holiday, buddy.
That tricky one. No idea. I have no idea. How would you? I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Finding time, I think, is the hardest thing.
Finding the time and
Mm,
making the space where you feel comfortable to talk. Because sometimes one person feels like they're in the wrong. Sometimes the other person feels like they're in the wrong, and they can be quite defensive if
so,
you were to give them too much of your opinion. They'd be like, "No, I was in the right. You were in the wrong. You should listen to me. I'm right. You're wrong." And you know, breaking that down and allowing yourselves to be open and free in a constructive way, so you can both feel free to talk about things. That's probably one of the harder things to
yeah.
do. Uh, so yeah, finding time is important, but I think mainly getting to that space where you can talk about things comfortably,
Mm,
finances and everything else. It's tricky because there's two sides of every story, and I think sometimes in a relationship one person might feel very strongly about something and the other person might not, in which case the person that doesn't feel strongly would probably just bow down and say whatever, yes, you carry on. You know what I mean?
mm.
Would you feel that way?
No, yeah, I think that's true.
Whew. Okay. Gulp.
Is it hard to talk about?
Uh, uh, yeah, it can be. Yeah, definitely. It certainly can be.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, all relationships are different. And I feel like a lot of different relationships do tend to work in different ways. So, for example, you wouldn't know, um, a couple that might be seemingly very perfect on the outside in front of everyone.
Mm,
They could be going through hell on the inside. Who knows? And then the polar opposite, people that argue on the streets, they could be incredibly loving and open and friendly when we can't see them. Uh, but so that my point being, it's tricky to say who is right and whether you need to make this space, whether it's important for the relationship, because sometimes relationships just flourish without having to talk things through.
mm,
Obviously, it's probably the healthier option, to talk things through. But if you're in that situation where you can't, then I think there's, something to be said about just carrying on.
mm.
Well, I could be wrong. Could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Keep
I don't
calm and
think there's a
carry on.
I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think it's very individual, and people deal with these things in different ways. Um, Trying not to dwell on things as well. I think that's a big thing in couples. You know, there's no point really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I just laugh then.
Oh,
What popped
no.
into your head then?
Um.
Popped into your head then. You look like you're about to laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. How would you how would you make a space, a comfortable space, a space where you can talk?
I agree with you that people deal with things in a different way. And if that shouting couple on the street both feel after shouting on the street,
They probably feel way better.
well, if they feel contented and they feel resolved, and
Yeah.
there's no
That's,
resentment there, then yeah, I think that's
that's
fine.
how,
But I wonder
mm,
if that is the case, because the other thing that you said also spoke to me somewhat is that you said that like you often talk and you kind of get to a point, or it's really hard to push through that point of
mm,
uncomfortableness because one of the parties are kind of angry, and then the other party just has to go, "Oh, there we are then," and then is that actually true resolution? So if you can get to that resolution, both parties feeling good, and I
Hmm.
think the method of getting there is, you can do that in whatever way, but you both have to feel good, which is the hard thing, I think. And it takes quite a lot of, yeah, space and effort. And there's also some things that, yeah, rightly so, maybe you do just go, meh, you brush over. But how do you choose as well? Which ones are the ones that you
Well,
like?
that's it. How
This
do
is
you
going to come
choose?
back and kick me
Well,
down the line or whatever.
I feel like it's part of marriage as well.
Yeah,
It's what it is. You've got to choose your battles.
yeah,
You can't win them all, and you've just got to enjoy the ride and enjoy each other's company at the end of the day, because there's only got a limited time on this earth.
true.
Life's too short. That's what I think sometimes.
Yeah,
There's no point really. There's no point worrying. No point arguing. But yeah, you are right. Yeah, it is tricky. But yeah, that is marriage as well.
true. What added the biggest strain to your relationship, do you reckon?
Ooh. Um, I don't know. Wouldn't say there was anything specific.
They're like, I'm thinking probably the two biggest that comes to mind is kids, mortgage.
Kids and mortgage. Well, those are big ones.
Yeah.
Those are big ones. Kids and mortgage. Yeah, I would say I would agree. Uh, when you say kids, what do you mean? How would you? How is that? As in, is it just the day-to-day struggles of kid
Uh,
rearing,
well, sometimes like different
different
parenting,
jobs? Yeah.
different
Okay.
jobs, different juggling like parent responsibilities in the loosest sense, like who's picking, there's a lot more to think about in there, even just the day to day going, I thought you were picking them up, I thought you were picking them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Delegating and taking the lead on certain things. Finances I think is
Yeah.
obviously another
Big
strain,
one.
maybe not mortgage but finances, like who
I,
gets to choose
yeah.
where
I
and
know that's a
all
big
that kind
one.
of thing. So those are
Those
the ones that come to mind. But I'm just wondering, do you have a specific one?
well, like you said, finances. That's a big
Yeah.
one. You know, trying to juggle everything money wise to make sure that it doesn't go too far in the red. Yeah, that's huge. That's
Yeah.
huge. Um, yeah, that's a bit of a worry. Money.
Mm,
Um, but at the same time, you want to live your life.
you
You
do.
want to enjoy things, and you want to have time with your children and do fun things with them. So that's another one where you've got to walk the line of, being frugal and being somewhat happy in day-to-day living.
True.
So I'm still trying to figure that one out. Budgeting.
How do you
That's the
manage that at the moment?
well, not well. It's not particularly well. No, not particularly well. But sometimes I think there's some sort of higher power that leads the way, and everything will be fine. I know that sounds like a cliche, whether you are religious or believe in any sort of higher being.
Yeah.
I do think we do have some sort of path, some sort of mysterious force that's pushing us to do certain things and to live our life in a certain way. Whether whether we think that we are in control or not,
Yeah.
through the day-to-day actions that we do, um, who knows? So some part of me thinks, it's all going to work out eventually, and it always does. Something always comes up, and
How do you
something.
deal with the arguments about money?
Um, well, Pussycat just came in. How do we? I don't know. I guess. I don't know. Is the honest answer. How do you? How would you?
How would I? Again, it's all to an individual. So I'm not going to say my way is the perfect way, but I think it's been a journey of figuring out how to come to a point. And there's still still battlefields at certain times of, where does the money go? What
What kind of
happened this
battles?
month?
Okay.
Oops.
Oops.
Oops
Oops.
moment. You can't really blame anyone for and go, oops, that happened.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Drat, the
but
car broke down. Oh no, we've got to fix the engine. That'll be £600.
yeah, these things
Oh,
are going,
where am I going to find that money? Oh man. Yeah.
yeah. And it probably is quite easy. I think, again, I don't blame her, but Sophie was driving the van and had a flat tire. And, it's also easy in those moments of going,
Mm.
why did you break the van?
Yeah, totally.
But it's not blame, but it's also natural to just have that going. But if I was driving the van, it would have
Yeah,
happened. But of course,
yeah.
it's like absurd to think that it's just one of those things. But
I
those
totally
things
agree
still
though.
enter
You
your
do feel that
heads.
way. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I would. I
Um,
know I would, but it's no one's fault. It's just act of higher power.
higher power,
Yeah,
act to
that's
higher
so
power.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's still we have we have more like a business meeting sort of thing that
Yeah,
we kind of, yeah, not quite forecast, but we kind of discuss things
oh, that's
maybe like
good.
once a month about
That's good.
what's upcoming, what do we need to
Yeah, that's
think,
pretty
because otherwise
sensible.
it came from a place of we were terrible and we were
Uh,
like, this isn't working. Like,
Yikes.
uh, yeah, especially when obviously mat leave, the pinch comes on, and you're just
Yeah.
like, we need to know
Well,
where this money is going and how we can actually forecast for. So we have multiple bank accounts for different things, so we can track exactly
that's good.
those things, and that's the way we do it. We run it like a business.
Well, no, this is good because you've allowed yourself this space to talk to each other in a very sensible and mature way,
Yeah.
and which is probably by far the best way. And
Mm.
you both come to a sensible agreement, and you've both thought of a way that works for you guys, and it makes sense. So well done to you. I think that's a very responsible approach towards finances, and something I should probably do. I like the idea of an informal meeting to discuss things, and that makes total sense.
It just means the fun times can be fun times because you just know the budget for the fun times. Then
Okay,
all parties just know the limits, and you go, we hit the limit, so
no more fun.
fun over.
Fun's over. Oh,
Uh,
that's, that's a genius idea, really. I thought about getting a Monzo account, and they've got special pots in these Monzo accounts where you can allocate a certain amount of money to, which just seems perfect, really. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's
That's
a great.
basically what we do with multiple different bank accounts of just, yeah,
We pretty much do the same,
yeah.
but yeah, sometimes money gets moved from one bank account, and then it's like, oh no, I shouldn't have moved that, and then the tower topples over. That's
Mm.
a word. But
That that drastically decreased our fighting over finances. And then the other side of the coin is like more emotional things of um again a journey. There's been some really hard times. We've been to couples counseling.
there we go. Didn't
Yeah,
know that.
only for again, only for creating space,
Hmm.
having an independent facilitator to work through. And almost from that, we can now do it ourselves. If that makes sense.
Wow.
So having
Gosh.
someone else kind of facilitate that space and teach us how to
Talk.
know each other's, like what's going
Please.
to set them off, and
Ah,
set like barriers to the arguments. Now we're going, okay, we're getting a bit out of hand, 2 minutes, we'll come back, and it works. It's like these things that everyone says counseling, you're like, oh, I'm just going to talk about feelings, but actually it was tools is
tools.
what we learned of just going, right,
Ooh.
this, we're both quite logical people, so the tools are really important alongside all the talking. But the tools, then bringing them back and like understanding, okay, we're
Mm,
both getting a bit heated, two
yeah,
minutes, walk away, we'll come back and we'll work through this until we come to a resolution. And that might take a couple of times. Most of the time now it doesn't even get to that point because,
nice. You've
yeah,
already resolved most of the issues. Okay.
exactly. Yeah, the really
Whew.
deep stuff, the
Okay.
really deep stuff is really good now. So now
So,
it's just like stuff.
question for you: what triggered off you guys thinking, right, we need to go to couples counselling? Anything
Talking about
specific?
talking about really hard family dynamics. So we've had
Okay.
multiple different, well, my mother died, and then my dad, me and my dad fell out after that because I
Um,
think naturally, well, and my sister, like all of us have
really?
had,
Oh
yeah,
no.
like it really messed up that family dynamic.
Oh
So
man.
we've also done counseling, coaching,
That's
whatever you want
weird.
to call it, finding space, and talking. And we've done that to kind of reintegrate family dynamic, and being able to talk. And then between me and my wife, it was about that, and also the dynamic that's very confusing about her family, of her parents and her not talking for a while, multiple times, her sister and her not talking. So really hard family dynamics that obviously put a strain on both of us, because I
Yeah.
always found it hard. It wasn't as though, because I love and care for her so much, it was seeing the effect that other people were having on her own family. That was almost harder to watch and
Hmm.
just be a silent witness. That was really hard. And I imagine likewise for her, being a silent witness, and just watching me getting hurt from, not vindictively either parties, but from complex emotions and things going on,
I
meant
see.
that you were
Whew.
just the witness of you're like the person that you love most in the world being hurt, and that was quite hard, and that put a strain on our relationship. So yeah, that's the reason we went to try and work through what was going on there. And yeah, been amazing. It's really, really, really so.
Yikes. Where did you go?
Um, Online. We went through a couple, to be fair, and it's definitely true, the old adage of you have to find someone who works for you, um, because every person comes with a different perspective, a different style.
Yeah.
Some people bring their own baggage as
Oh,
well.
really?
Um, you know, you don't want, I can't think of it, but you don't want sex therapy from a recovering nymphomaniac.
Right.
If
Yes.
that makes sense. You don't
Yeah,
want
of course.
drug therapy from an ex-drug addict, potentially, because they almost bring their own emotions, and you don't want that. So I
You
don't
want it
know, maybe that's
impartial.
what it is. Yeah,
Hmm.
partial.
So
And
would
that
you,
might not be true, but
I
everyone
think you,
has their own kind of style. So we found someone who was really, really good, very impartial, um, and just listened and really didn't say much at all, which was amazing.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
That, but at the same time, surely in the back of your mind, you must have been thinking, I'm paying. You should be, you should be saying
Tell
stuff.
me what's wrong.
Tell me I'm
Tell me
right.
what we should do.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's cool
Uh,
though. It's really good that you, yeah, I think it's amazing. Would you recommend that then to all the listeners, the 20 listeners out there?
so I've done 100% 20 listeners. 100% would recommend any form of talking to. So I've done counseling, and I've also done business coaching, which to
Ew.
me is the same bloody thing. It's the same thing. But as soon as you go coaching, it's not so cool. It's the same thing. It's talking, figuring out where you want to go, having an
Yeah.
independent person like channel your energy to it can really, really help. And it's the same as counseling. It was like channeling your own thoughts and helping you to focus them to figure out what you needed to do. Because it's all you. It's
Yeah.
never you can never change anyone else. That's the other thing I learned is it's all about you accepting people for who they are and figuring out what can you do? What can you do to change the dynamic? And I use this like you can't change people unless they want
No.
to change.
Agreed.
You can change yourself.
Ah. Okay. Wow. That's really cool. That is good. Okay. Lots to unpack there. It's interesting. Well, for somebody who's never even considered counseling in any form, maybe it's something I should look into, you know? I feel like it would probably need to get significantly worse before I would have thought about any sort of counseling.
Yeah, I know. And I think this the biggest misconception and the biggest branding issue. It's the same as I always think yoga.
Yeah.
Yoga has a big branding issue for men, right? Because
Yeah.
most people who do yoga are females,
It's hard.
majority. Yeah,
Mm,
it's really hard, isn't it? It's really
hard.
hard. Like,
That's why
and
Pilates is
and also
incredibly hard.
when I'm older and maybe I don't want to run anymore, and actually I need to
You
stretch and
wanna
work on my flexibility. Even
you wanna
now,
get off
I'm
the chair.
saying
Yeah. Yes.
yoga, right?
Yoga is
But
amazing.
it's up here going, no, I can't do yoga. It's not a
Yoga's
man's
for
thing.
girls.
It's a
Yeah.
branding issue, same as counseling. It's a
Okay.
big branding issue, and people go, no, that's for people who really need it, and
Yeah.
that's psychotherapy. It's
Ah,
not psychotherapy. These aren't medical doctors. These are just people who facilitate space and talk and allow you to talk. And coaching, same as business coaching, it's the best thing you can do to have someone help you figure out your career. Doesn't have to be like figuring out something big. It can just be like, you know what? I need someone to sit me
shoulder me.
down, make me sit down and think
Yeah.
about what I want to do. And that's all it
Yeah.
is. Sadly, in this day and age, we have to pay someone to do it, but
It's
it's
crazy,
worth
right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. How much is it?
They range, but the cheapest, really good one, I can give you his
Hmm.
details if you want, was 30 quid. And it was an hour, but he sometimes went on for 2 hours.
Seems okay. 30 quid. If it makes a big difference, then yeah, that means I think it's quite a beneficial, you know,
Yeah.
if it makes a long-term difference as well, and it gives you those tools that you need to be calm and to be able to communicate in a way that's non-threatening and to allow yourselves to speak to each other, then yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, okay. Genius idea. Gosh. You seem like a clever dude.
Just done a lot. I'm
Just
always
done a
willing to
lot.
give things a go. And
Yeah,
sometimes you give things a go and you go,
that was pointless.
didn't, well, it didn't feel right. Like I've been through lots of so many different things. I was like, that's a waste of time. But it just didn't sit right with me at that moment. But sometimes you get those moments and you push through a little bit and you go, actually, that was actually pretty good.
Maybe that was good.
And
Yeah,
it
it's
all comes from like obviously I still like exercising and pushing my body to the limit. And I also like pushing my mind to grow as well. And to me it's no different of like seeing what other superpowers I can unlock, what new bench
ooh,
press. But this is like,
bench
oh,
press.
now I understand why I use humor to get
Yeah.
out of
Well,
awkward situations. Not in a
bench press with
negative
mine.
way, but I just now know, I have that modus operatus that allows me to
Does
That's
that
my
change
brain.
your humor? Does it change anything? No.
No, I don't think it does.
You're just
No.
you're more aware of it then.
Yeah, 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 exactly. And then when you use it inappropriately or whatever it is, you can go, okay, I shouldn't have done that. Sorry.
Oh,
Makes it like, yeah, okay, that was oops.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's clever. Okay. Wow. Brill. Okay.
Gym of the mind.
Gym of the mind. Mind gym. Well, I like the sound of leveling up in all methods, um, including things like mindfulness and
Mm,
being present in the moment and enjoying things for what they are.
yeah.
I think that's important too.
Mm,
But counseling, it seems like it's certainly gaining more popularity, I think, these days, as opposed
yeah.
to 20 years ago when it was very, very rare. Uh, so
Yeah.
it's a good thing. It's a really good thing, and no, I'm glad that you've opened up and mentioned about all the counseling side of things.
Well, people also say, you need counseling more these days. And we are more disconnected than what we used to be. I was talking about this to my family. I was like, it's only 2 generations ago that it was not odd for a family of 6 to live in 2 rooms.
Yeah,
You know, what else are you going to do without a TV other than talk about everything?
yeah, true.
But now we don't do that anymore because we've got TVs, we're distracted, we've got like 5 bedroom houses that are empty,
Everyone's
you
on their
know?
phone in front of the TV.
Everyone's on their phone, everyone's not really connecting. So of
Mm,
course you need to pay someone for
you would, wouldn't
an
you?
hour to actually learn about yourself and in this big world that you don't get to talk to people anymore.
That's a
And
good
it's
point.
no fault. It's just that's society. And this is the new way of doing it.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, you are correct. There's interesting.
Isn't it crazy? 2 generations ago, you'd be like still probably have both your kids in your bedroom.
Wow, mind blown.
I know.
When did they start to get hot showers? That wasn't that long ago, was it?
No, that was our parents' generation. Hot showers.
Must have
Yeah,
been
it was
good.
baths before then.
Baths, yeah. Whew.
And
Yeah.
outdoor toilets.
Oof. I remember my primary school. They had an outdoor toilet until
Probably still
this.
do.
No, it's gone. It's gone. Yeah, but yeah, there was an outdoor toilet until like year
No,
five. Mad.
that is bad.
Whew. Hmm. Hold on. Okay, so more talking, more opening up, and more allowing yourself to be open.
Gym of the brain. Really, really delve deep. And you don't have to do it all the time. It's just you figure things out and then you know who you are in the big, big world.
I kind of feel like over time in marriage, you do that anyway, as
Mm,
in maybe not as directly, but through noticing each other's quirks and how they
yeah.
react to certain things and whether they feel upset about what you've said or done, and you know how to remedy them.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it would come naturally, but like you said, you would need a certain space to be able to communicate certain things.
Mm,
Going back to what I said earlier about people perhaps maybe feeling um, to blame or feeling like they were, as in the feeling that they were not to blame. So yeah, having a space to be able to talk is really good.
mm, yeah. It's uh it's certainly important because yeah, as parents you kind of share that common duty. It brings you closer together. So you need to understand how to work through these things that come up for everyone. I don't think
Yeah,
it's unique.
it certainly isn't. Do you think as well though, if you're in a marriage with children, you've got to do everything, you've got to do everything possible for the children. So
Yeah.
so you in that scenario, you would certainly need to think about counseling or therapy just to get through any, negative situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even, that idea of what's best for the kids, like even that's going to be argumentative for, like, if we brought in 10 different parents about what's the best parenting
We would
style,
all have different
no, none of us
views.
would agree, right?
Yeah, true.
And at the end of the day, we'll probably all be at university in 20 years' time going, it
There's no right or
worked.
wrong. Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's no there's no right or wrong, is there? Well, there
No,
is, but
no.
you know,
Like
there-
a few things,
there's,
a few
there's
things.
a few things you could get. But I think in general, don't
No
do
one's
crime.
perfect. Yeah,
No
no
one's
one's
perfect.
perfect.
No one's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So do you think maybe counseling could be done as a almost like a prevention thing? Maybe like doing it fairly early on when things are, not necessarily bad, but somewhat dicey, adding some counseling in early on would allow your relationship to be more fruitful and allow those key tools to come into play.
Yeah, I think it would. I I I imagine you have to get to a certain point to, I'm just thinking about myself, and if someone had approached me, even if I approach my kids when I'm their the age that I was when I married, and I told them that, I imagine I'd brush them off. Even if
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, they know, So I imagine you still need to get to a point of,
Yeah.
let's
I feel
call
like,
it maturity. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but
yeah,
wisdom to go, yeah, that makes sense.
no, that's good. That's good because my theory is as well. If one party, one member of the relationship wants therapy and the other one doesn't, what do you do then? You know?
I think this happens a lot to people I speak to. And again, you can't change the other person, but what from my own journey, Sophie went first,
Okay.
my wife, and I kind of saw things that I was like, this is pretty cool, actually. And it wasn't like anything, you kind of had these ideas, and she was doing it, and I was like, don't really think, doesn't seem that big a deal because that's the same mindset I had.
Yeah.
Um, just get on with it. And then
Yeah.
she went because she's a woman, so she's just far more superior than I am.
I
Um, so
think
she did it.
they can open up better. They can allow themselves to communicate better.
That's it.
So, yeah.
And I just saw kind of the effect. And then when I got to that point that I was like, I don't know what else to do, I was like, fuck it, let's give it a go. Um, and then I was just blown away. And I've used it for multiple different purposes now. And I'm just like, it really is really simple.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
mentioned going back a little bit. You said when I got to that point where I didn't know what else to do. So you think did it
no,
get that bad to the
not
point where you?
not to a point where I think typically, there's no indicators that I think other people would think about counseling. Like there's no suicide, there's nothing serious, there's nothing like that. There was just a point of I was going, I seen the positives and I was like, let's give it a go. So no, but the point probably was seeing the positive effects and also just getting to a point of going, I would like my mental health to be better, or I'd like to see if this relationship could be better. And it's the same as, you're happy with your bench press, right? Or
Yeah,
whatever. You're happy with your 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 half marathon time, but you're just like, I'd like
it
to
could be better.
see, yeah, I'd like to
It
see
could
if I
be better.
could get it better, if
Yeah,
I increase my protein diet or if I increase my training intervals,
yes.
whatever. Like you just have a little play, and it felt like that to me. It felt like more of a,
Yeah. I think
it was,
you've
yeah,
you touched on something wonderful there. Yeah, I think it's takes things up another level. And there we go. Okay. No, I like it. I think it makes things better when
Hmm.
things are already good.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Good. Food for thought, eh?
Food for thought. Food for thought. Are you going to give it a go?
Um, see, I probably won't. After all the good stuff you mentioned. I know. I think I don't know if I thought that there was an issue, then yeah. But then, yeah, like you said, it goes back to what you said about just making good things better. It does. Maybe I should.
Gut instinct. Okay. Answer immediately. If I said I've had an amazing business coach that now has helped me develop my business and it's helping me return, you know, £50,000 more a year just by doing 6 coaching sessions, what would your gut be to, do you want to have a go?
Cool. Yeah, of course.
Exactly. Is it weird? But as
Yeah,
soon as it becomes something like, oh, I've now unlocked a new level and I feel really happier, that isn't as much value to
yeah,
men as like financial gain.
yeah. I feel like financial gain would make everything better anyway.
Not true, though, is it?
It would be true. It would be a little bit. Obviously not, in the millions. How living a comfortable life? Yeah, I think so. Because it would get rid of all those worries and thoughts, the anxieties about money. That wouldn't be an issue with lots of money.
You always expand into your earnings, or I don't know the saying, but you your
Yeah, you would.
lifestyle always expands into your income.
Yeah,
So
true.
you never feel like, because as soon as you start
Earning
earning
more, you'll be
100K, you're
buying
like,
more.
oh, I need a big house now. And then the
Yeah,
mortgage comes with it. As soon as you get 500,000, you're like, oh, my other 500,000 friends have this nice
yeah, that's
car.
all
So you have a nice
right.
car.
Yeah, I know.
Because your
That's a good
circles
point.
change, the societal pressures change. So yeah, it was Gary Economics, I think, said he had a mental breakdown because he was a multi-millionaire and he didn't understand why he wasn't happy. Um
Yeah.
yeah, and his thing was, yeah, money literally doesn't buy
No, that's a
happiness.
good point.
And I
I
think
think
most other teachings teach that as well.
I totally agree. But if you had no money, zero money, and you came into a lot of money, I think that would solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It sounds nice. But I imagine if we got given like 50K, we'd
Yeah.
spend it.
Do you think?
And then you're in the same place
You
as you
would be
were
back
before.
to the one, yeah.
Or you'd probably be more regretful because you're like, God,
Oh, did I do
I
that?
blew it. Why
I
did I just
know.
go on that one holiday? And now I'm still in this job.
Yeah, that's true. Oh man.
And even if you did it sensibly, mm, yeah, maybe with a business coach, you can invest sensibly and then you can, afford the counseling to make sure that you feel
Yeah.
contented with what you have.
I think we found a loophole right there. At
So at that point, everyone,
that
when you
point,
get given a
that
lot of
point.
money, invest in yourself,
Yeah,
not anything else.
that's what the majority of coaches I've seen online. Oh wait, I do look at people as in you mentioned about counseling and business coaching. I tend to watch people online about their businesses and how they running things, and I don't know if that counts. That doesn't count, but it's something somewhat similar.
It's not quite because you untapped another thing of when there was a book called "What Color Is Your Parachute?" And I don't know how we got this book, but both we got this book after we'd finished our PhDs, and um, we weren't too sure what to do because obviously you kind of reach that point. You're like, I've
What
done
do I do
it.
now?
I'm a doctor. What do I do now? Um, and it was all about figuring out what you wanted in life and how do you get what you want.
Mm.
And that has pretty much been our strategy ever since. I never really I really don't care about flash cars. Never
Okay.
have. My dream car is a Mark II Escort, which is a classic car, a classic rally car. And I only want one of those because my dad used to have one.
Uh,
That's it. Um, I never care about what I drive.
Same.
So that was never a thing. A house, I never wanted a big house because I got brought up in a big house and it comes with a lot of
Upkeep.
downsides of cleaning.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
So
Totally.
I never wanted a big house. I wanted, I always wanted to live in the countryside
Nice.
and I always wanted freedom in some way
Freedom.
that freedom
Freedom.
of not really wanting, um, I wanted to do what I wanted to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that was always, there were other things, but you could kind of do it to where do you want to live, what job you kind of wanted to get. And it
Yeah.
really helped in those moments not to just go, oh, I need to get a job. Any job will do,
Mm.
but actually go, right, this is what I wanted to do. And that's from that book led us to get the jobs that we wanted at that time.
Nice.
Um, and we held out for a long time to get the jobs
Yeah.
that we wanted, as opposed to taking
Any
other
job.
jobs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So figuring out what you want in life is probably way more powerful way of doing it as opposed to going, I want as much money as I can get in life, and then I'll figure out what to do with it.
It's about the journey, isn't it?
It is.
It is. Finding happiness.
Finding happiness. Yeah. So you're gonna go to coaching,
Coaching for, well,
emotional coaching.
emotional, possibly. Maybe it's the way forward. The way forward for me. Uh, right then, dude, should we call it there?
Yep,
Should we
sounds
finish?
good.
Would you like to do some mindful? Oh wait, what did we do last time?
It's normally oh, it's the questions last time, wasn't it?
That's
So
the things.
um what's a good one on this episode? We've been talking a lot about say one thing that you're most proud of yourself.
Myself,
Yeah,
my accomplishments, or
your most recent accomplishment.
I would say probably getting my master's degree. That's probably up there recently. How about
Why
you?
why are you proud of it?
It's just signifies a lot of work,
Mm,
and I think as well it sounds pretty cool.
nice. Well done you.
Thank you.
Um I am most proud of standing up for what I believe in a
Ooh,
meeting with my boss today.
wow, that's a
Standing my
big one.
ground. It
Well
was a big
done.
one, and it felt in a really empowered way.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Well done.
felt good.
Okay, well that's good news. That's good news
Yeah,
indeed.
very good. Do you have
Cool.
the outro?
Um, I do. Would you like me to read it, or would you like to read it?
You go for it, buddy.
Shall I go for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Diolch yn fawr for tuning in to our fourth episode. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow parents. We'll be back next week with more stories, laughs, and honest chats. Until then, take care and keep being brilliant. Diolch yn fawr, pawb. We'll
Diolch
see you
fawr.
again.
Nos
Bye.
diwetha.
Noswaith, nos da.